Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. I hope you had a great day. Let's take a look at some new malicious compliance stories. I hope you enjoy them. The first story is called I Figure It Out. This story happened a few years ago when I worked for a supermarket chain that promotes organic food. I was hired to be the buyer for the specialty foods department, but I soon came to realize that they expected me to do the work of someone with a higher title for less pay. Our team was always short-staffed and the few other workers always had excuses for doing less work, so it all got dumped on me. On this particular day, I was short-staffed and by myself from 6 AM to 2 PM. The store assistant manager wandered up and announced, "You need my help. You need more palm cheese out. I'll cut it." Now, first of all, while he was generally a nice guy, he was the sort of inept person that made you wonder how the heck he made his way up to his position. He may have been good at customer service, but he had no skills whatsoever to help out in my department. He had tried helping in the past and had made a mess of things, so I learned my lessons there. The cheese in question is specifically known as Parmigiano Reggiano. A full wheel is about 85 pounds. Anybody who works in the specialty cheese industry knows that you need a special set of tools to hand cut it as well as the skills needed. It is not a job for the novice, a new person must be trained, helped and monitored. Also, a second person comes in handy to help flip an 85-pound wheel of cheese. I came to this job with years of experience and I made a point to tell them during my interview that I cannot do this one job due to my arthritis. No problem, I was told, other team members can do it. So I explained to the assistant manager that I had another coworker coming in at 2 PM who was going to do it, because he knew how to do it and was good at it. But he still wanted to do it. I tried explaining that you need to use special tools to cut it and special training, and I didn't have time to stop and show him how to do it. "I'll figure it out," he said. I tried asking him to do a number of different, easier tasks to help me out instead. But he said, "No, I can cut the palm." I tried every diplomatic way to politely dissuade him from doing this, but he insisted on doing it. I was overdue for my break anyway, so I told myself to just let this happen. I returned from my break to see what happened. An entire 85-pound wheel of expensive cheese was absolutely butchered. It was done with maximal waste, and each individual piece was wrapped up for sale in a way that would be unacceptable by the company's standards. I shrugged my shoulders. It wasn't my mess, and I had my own job to do, orders to place and deadlines to place them. The next day I show up, and I am immediately attacked by the department team leader. I calmly explained what happened, and she still wanted to blame me for it. She asked why I didn't take the time to train him. I pointed out that I didn't have the time, being short-staffed. She asked why I didn't take the time to rewrap, clean up and fix all the cheese. I pointed out how long that would take and that I would get in trouble for working overtime. She insisted that she and I needed to have a meeting with the store manager immediately. So after talking it out and pleading my case in the store manager's office, the store manager graciously gave me permission to nicely and directly tell inexperienced supervisors to go away and not help in the future. My team leader later pulled me aside and apologized to me. But then she gave me a big condescending lecture about how I just wasn't doing a good enough job and if I didn't get better I may get demoted or fired. Not long after that, I gave my notice to work a new job at a lovely, privately owned cheese shop where I was much happier and my skills were truly appreciated. The next story is called "At least his metrics weren't affected." My brother works in the loyalty department for a pay TV company in the US. By loyalty, I mean he's like one of the people in charge of giving last-ditch efforts to keep customers by trying to negotiate packages with people before they cancel. In case you don't know anything about the pay TV industry, basically channel owners make contracts with pay TV companies for streaming rights. This happens every year. So when you sign a 2-year contract, the company is literally losing money for the next 2 years. And the deficit is even higher in the second year of your contract because the prices for those channels have already gone up. This is why pay TV prices go up so drastically after a price lock contract expires. Another thing a lot of people don't know is that it takes 3 to 4 years of service with one customer to be able to break even on investing in promotions and such. So my brother can actually lose some hefty points on his metrics for every cancel. There are some people though that he just refuses to take any BS from. My brother received a phone call from a lovely Karen one day, and it seemed she had been transferred to him. He answers, "Hello and thank you for choosing this pay TV company. This is X. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking to?" To which the Karen responds, "I just want exactly what I have now for the same price without you changing my account. And I want a price lock contract for 2 years." The Karen was belligerent and went on a rant about how she didn't want to pay more for the same channels and how she wasn't taking no for an answer. This went on for a solid 5 minutes. She never even let my brother get a word out. There was a point that she said the magic words for my brother, which was, "I'm not here to negotiate. You give me my channels for the exact same price for 2 years or I will cancel my subscription." My brother patiently waited until she was done verbally assaulting him and waited for about 30 seconds before he spoke. Cue the malicious compliance. My brother calmly responded with, "Okay, so to which address am I sending the return boxes to?" "What do you mean by return boxes?" "Well, you told me you don't want to negotiate, and I can't give you what you are asking for. So your service will be cancelled as of today. Is this the correct address to send the boxes to?" She went on to rant about what lousy customer service the company had. Then she went back and forth with my brother for a little longer and then eventually hung up without cancelling her account. Hey, at least my brother's metrics weren't affected. I hope you enjoyed today's video so far. If you like the video, don't forget to press the like button. It really helps. And now, on to the next story. The third story is called Learn Your Math. As a teen, I used to work for an import store named after a peer. We sold a lot of wicker furniture. Wicker furniture is not durable. It's the nature of the material. We had white furniture that we sold and it was so prone to scuffs and damage that it came with a little spray can of touch-up paint. We, the staff, always made sure to point out how easily damaged it is. Most people buying wicker furniture understood that or would change their mind when they realized the upkeep needed. So this guy comes in and he wants a wicker chair. Great. They sold for $90. Well, he starts nitpicking every little scuff and mark on the chair. And he doesn't care that this is just how it is. He wants a discount. So I ask my manager and she says, "Fine, give him $10 off." I go back and say, "Okay, I can give you $10 off." $10? That's not good enough. I want 10% off. So I say, "Okay, you got it." I quickly ring him up, takes a 10% discount, which is $9, and hand him his receipt with a big smile and a "Thanks so much for coming in today." He walks out, dragging the chair, and is halfway to the door when he reads his receipt and realizes he's played himself. He turns back and I just give him a big gesture smile. He left without a word. Oh, and I forgot to give him his touch-up paint too. Dang. The last story is called How Could I Say No? I have a family that wants a multi-unit rental property. On that property is a storm grate that doesn't belong to the city. It sits off the driveway to one side along a graveled border. It was fine for many years, but the local garbage trucks changed their route or something and began to use that spot to turn around. That would be fine, except they kept backing over the storm drain, caving in the metal grate that covers it. It didn't fail, but often it would be deformed enough for someone's legs to fit through the gap. It costs about $300 for the steel to it, and the maintenance guy had to get help replacing the thing every time due to the weight. Also, there's the danger that someone could get hurt. Not good. The company that owns the trucks was contacted multiple times and they always denied any responsibility. One of those times they said that even if they had done it, there was no curb or anything blocking the gravel, so they wouldn't be liable for damage anyway. That is where my turn started. A few years ago I got tired of paying people to haul some of my equipment around for me. So I bought a big old 5-ton truck. I also own an elderly forklift. You can probably see where this is going. I was told what was happening and asked if I could pick up a 4,200 pound concrete retaining wall block and set it up in front of that grate. How could I say no? So on my next day of work I picked up one made of red concrete. I brought it back and used my old forklift to unload it and set it up. Within a couple of weeks the block had a chip out of one of the corners and had been shoved out of position by almost a foot. When I showed up to put it back in place, I was pleased to see a big street the color of the local garbage truck scraped onto it. I put it back in place and so far it hasn't budged. I know it didn't do more than scrub a little paint off the garbage truck, but I'm sure it gave the driver of the truck a bad moment. The new curb hasn't budged since. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.